Hey y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. I'm out here on the porch and I just sat down. We've done the chickens and I'm going to talk to you and do a chicken scratch talk time. This is a video where we sit here and talk. I don't know what topic it'll be until I start talking, so we're just going to do it, okay? I don't have anything to hold my phone on. That's why I've got my selfie stick out here. If you see that, that metal thing, that's what that is, okay? So got a beautiful sunset behind me. Chickens are running around everywhere and we're just enjoying life today, okay? So many people have asked us, how do you make this stuff? How do you have time? What do you do? They have no clue what we do. So I want to tell you, just skim the surface here and tell you some things that we make here at the house by ourselves, or things that we want to make by ourselves that you can make, because it's all about becoming sustainable, okay? Sometimes it just tastes better homemade, anything that you make, or it might be educational. So we're going to talk about that. Things that you can make. First of all, if it comes from the store, you can pretty much make it, okay? If it's consumable, you can do this at home by yourself and learn how to become sustainable, okay? Starting off with, no-brainer, growing vegetables. Get a garden, okay? If you can't garden, get buckets, get a raised bed, get stackable planters, do something. Check out our videos. We've grown in everything from a mop bucket to a pasture that's been plowed up. You can do it. If we can do it, you can do it, okay? Grow your own food. That will save money. And you're doing it yourself. You know the nutrients in this food. You know the benefits, the fun of having it. Grow your own food. Secondly, herbs. Grow your own herbs. If you like spices, seasoning, if you like recipes that require this kind of stuff, grow some herbs. Herbs are hard to grow. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's easier to go get a transplant for us, okay? I've tried rosemary before. I've tried to grow it inside. It is horrible trying to start, but I've done it each year without a heat mat. This year I got a heat mat, started my peppers on it. We had peppers in 8 days, okay? So next year, it's a little late in the game this year. Next year, I'm probably going to try the heat mat with my herbs. This year, we may just go get some plants. I really like cilantro, so I'm going to grow that this year, okay? Think of what you like and what your recipes calls for and try to grow it, okay? I don't use a lot of rosemary, but I went and got 2 rosemary bushes because I do like it, and I thought the bushes were pretty, and there they are. Lavender I never used, so I'm not going to have a bunch of lavender here on the homestead. Cilantro, we're going to do dill. I use dill daily, just about cooking. I use that as one of my main seasonings, so I'm going to have some dill plants. You get where I'm going with this? Become sustainable. Now, you're growing your own food. You're going to do that this year. Look at all of your recipes. Look at what you consume the most. We use the number one thing from the store that we buy outside of anything dairy would be diced tomatoes until last year, okay? Last year I said I'm not going to buy these anymore. I was very scared of canning. That's something you need to learn, how to can, okay? Because tomatoes do not freeze well unless you're doing like a sauce and freezing it in the freezer, but otherwise, tomatoes, you need to can, okay? And that's really the main reason I have my canner, is for my tomatoes. This year, I canned tomatoes, diced tomatoes. I've not had to buy 1 jar this year. Last year. This year, I would like to do tomato sauce. We eat a lot of soups, stews, casseroles that have diced tomatoes, so that's why I tried it. It has been very beneficial to us. And last year, I had a terrible tomato season. It was too hot here. It was too dry. The tomatoes did not do well. So we went to a farmer's market, got huge buckets. I got 3 buckets or boxes of tomatoes and diced those up and canned those. I think the humongous boxes were $16 a piece, so 16 times 3, you do the math. We have shelves full of pint-sized diced tomatoes. And remember, when you buy all this stuff for canning, like your jars, you can reuse it. Your rings, you just have to buy the lids. And it's beneficial for us, okay? I like salsa. This year we're going to try salsa. Tomatoes, cilantro, jalapenos. I've got tons of jalapenos started for that reason. So you can make your own salsa. You can make your own sauces if you use a lot of sauce. We do not, but anything from salad dressing. You can make all this stuff at home, but you cannot expect for it to last in the fridge for 6 months or 2 years like a bottle of salad dressing will, because it has preservatives in it. Yours will not. Okay, so think of this stuff. Croutons. If you like croutons on a salad, if you're growing a lot of lettuce, learn how to make croutons. Y'all, it's literally bread sliced up and, you know, baked. Okay, that's it. And getting on that, bread. Everybody wants to know how to make bread, but they're intimidated by it. Bread and canning, that's the 2 things, okay? And then number 3 would probably be soap making. Bread is so easy, y'all. There's 3 breads that I use that I have made for years, since I was a teenager, and I love it. I stick with it, and that's just, it takes nothing, because I don't want a bunch of fancy ingredients, anything like that. I want something simple and quick, because me and my husband both work full-time. I make Irish soda bread. That takes buttermilk, flour, salt, and like literally basic ingredients, okay? You don't need yeast for that. The buttermilk works in the place of yeast. You don't have to knead it and let it rise for 5 hours and all that. You knead it once, throw it in a cast iron skillet, bake it, and it's done. And it's delicious. My husband said the other night, this is delicious. I always make it around St. Patrick's Day because I'm Irish and I just like it. Biscuits, buttermilk, Crisco, and self-rising flour, and you're good to go, okay? Biscuits. Cornbread. So you can see here, buttermilk's a huge staple here. We do not have anything that we can milk, like a goat, a cow, so we have to buy our dairy. Butter, you can make your own butter. You can make, y'all, anything you can make. Just look up recipes. Like, why did I make this before? Sometimes it's beneficial to go make all this stuff. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's of course, it's all healthier and better for you, but sometimes it's not cost effective to make it at home. So really look into this and see what you use. Like, we don't eat soy sauce, okay? My husband doesn't care for Oriental food. He likes more, like, he's a meat and potatoes guy. So I don't have a need to go learn how to make soy sauce. I might want to, but that doesn't mean that I need to go plan to do all this, okay? So look at what your family uses and what they consume and what they like, and then try to go make this stuff. I'm not going to learn to make croutons and make 5-gallon buckets full of them if we don't eat croutons. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Dehydrated stuff, dehydrated fruit leather. Kids love that stuff. That, y'all, is huge. And if you don't have fruit trees on your homestead and you've got space, plant them now, because it will take years to get a harvest worth having. Fruit trees are hard. We've got several and we're still waiting on some kind of result. Okay, we've got peaches, pears, cherries. We've got the whole 9 yards. Okay, apples. Still, we're kind of in the waiting on this stuff. Back to the things you make. Again, I'm just skimming the surface. Kitchen stuff. The bread is huge, y'all. Everybody, they want to learn how to make the bread. You do not need a bread machine. You do not need this stuff. You just need a skillet, okay, or a loaf pan, and go on with it. Cakes. Learn how to make cake flour. Does anybody know that? Does anybody know the difference? Does anybody know what to do? Learn this stuff, okay? Create your own recipes. I'm trying to think of other stuff in the kitchen that we use. My mind's just going blank. Pita chips. There's something. Tortillas. Anything bread-wise. Learn how to do, and I think you'll be good. If you use a lot of condiments, you can make that. If you use a lot of relish, like olives, it may be hard for you to have an olive tree, but you could make pickled banana pepper rings and put them up. Pickled okra. Pickled eggs, this could go so far, okay? Think about what you have, what you consume, and what you like. Something else, cleaning stuff. Apple cider vinegar. You can make that at home, okay? Anything at the store like this, you can make at home. Apple cider vinegar is great for cleaning any kind of vinegar or abrasive, something acidic. Just be careful on what you use it for. But apple cider vinegar is great. Or any kind of, just like the white vinegar. It's great for cleaning, okay? Learn how to make your own laundry soap. We tried that. It did not work great on my husband's clothes, so we moved on to the next thing. We used borax soap, and it's like the special laundry soap, and essential oils, and it just did not, and I think one other thing, but it did not pan out for us, so we moved on. I've made homemade deodorant. That worked. That lasted far longer than like a roller deodorant. However, it did not work on my skin. It was very irritating to my skin. I could have probably played around with the recipe, but I've got sensitive skin, so I just moved on to the next thing. Toothpaste, we've made that before. That was an adjustment. You can make shampoo, you can make conditioner, you can make all this stuff at home, okay? We talked about cleaners. We talked about taking care of your home. Do you know how to sew? Can you sew? And I'm not talking about getting a sewing machine. Do you have a needle and thread? Can you put a button back on a shirt? You know, instead of having to go out and get another shirt. If you have an old towel and you're done with it, don't chunk it, cut it up. Make wash rags out of that. Get creative, save money, make do with what you have. That is what homesteading is all about, y'all. I'm trying to just brainstorm here and tell you all this stuff. That way, it'll get your wheels turning. We talked about in another video not using tinfoil. We've been using just like dish towels, and we've been using glass lids on dishes. So there's tons of stuff that you can do. Again, the clothesline. The clothesline, y'all, I'm telling you, you need a clothesline. Try to use more towels and such. That way it still saves, okay? And you're not going to really notice your laundry building up much more, and you can use your clothesline. It's still more cost effective than using so much paper. Now, I do use paper towels. I use those on the top of my brooder plates, and that is worth the cost, okay? As long as I can buy them instead of having to sit there and clean a dirty brooder plate from chicks, okay? So some things are worth it, some are not. When you're gardening, compost. We've showed you a DIY worm bin. We've done a video on that. I used all of those worm castings in my raised bed this year with my radishes. And I've got radishes everywhere, by the way. I'm so excited. This year, I have collected cardboard. And I'm not talking about boxed cardboard. I'm talking about like toilet paper rolls, and torn them into shreds and kept them in a bucket with a lid on it. And I'm going to use that in the stuff that I'm planting my plants in this year. Any kind of bucket, just use as a filler. It's biodegradable. It'll waste down, break down, and add to my soil, because when you use potting mix at a certain level, over time it's going to shrink down. This is going to help build it up. It's going to help retain water. If we have a very dry summer like we did last year here in Alabama, think on this stuff, guys. Do you realize how much cardboard you go through? You won't. Everything from a toothpaste box holder to a toilet paper roll, paper towel roll. If you use drink flavorings, like sometimes we'll get the little drink flavorings that are 0 calorie, the little packets, they come in a cardboard box. Pasta cardboard box, if you buy that. Y'all, and that's something else. You make pasta at home, so you don't have to go out and buy it. May not be cost effective, may be more healthy, don't know. Y'all, this could keep going and going and going and going, okay? Think on things that you can make at home to become sustainable. Soap. Now, soap is the one that I'm intimidated by. Canning scared me until I got my electric canner. Y'all, I will never go back. The electric canner is the way to go, okay? The soap makes me a little nervous. You know, you get into lye soap and all this, or this pourable soap. I don't know, and my skin's so sensitive, I don't know if it would even be effective. So we're gonna wait on that, but it would be great for me to learn. If they had a class down the road, I'd be the first one there tomorrow, okay? It doesn't hurt to learn this stuff. You learn about all the chemistry in soap. You learn about this stuff kind of the same way with canning. You learn about the pressure release and all these things, and it's so beneficial to you to expand your mind. And when you start learning how to make one thing, you'll go on to the next. Our biggest problems, the canning, we tackled that, we're great. Dairy, if we just had something to have milk, but that is very time consuming, y'all. But you can go out and make your own stuff, like butter. You don't need a milk cow to make make butter, okay? You can go and make it in your kitchen. You can buy stuff at the store. I don't know if it's going to save you any money. You can make your own yogurt. You can make your own cheese. I mean, you don't need all this stuff. You can make cheese in a bowl, okay? You can do this. You just have to go out and try and learn. There's some ideas, y'all, that I just thought of that may help you, okay? Some stuff we've tried, some we haven't. And I just went over really what we've tried, okay? I want to keep going. I want to keep growing. If you have any ideas on anything that you would like to do or that you make yourself at home, throw me a comment down below. We read every comment. We try to respond to every comment. And it's all about encouraging sustainability. Because guess what, guys? If if we don't teach this, who will, okay? So, serious talk tonight on Chicken Scratch Talk Time. I hope I got your wheels turning. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.